A.A. Wilson is the standout player for the Las Vegas Aces, known for her confident personality and willingness to speak her mind. She keeps reporters captivated with every word and embraces the attention she receives.
I went with Prada. I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know, I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or NBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside, but yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so yeah.
With Clark's legendary WNBA debut season, marked by unparalleled excitement and intensity.
White girl is successful. White girl more popular. White girl must be.
A'ja Wilson has shared that Caitlin Clark's race plays a big role in her rise to popularity, a viewpoint that stirs strong feelings. Wilson believes it's an undeniable factor, even if it might seem surprising. Las Vegas Aces forward A'ja Wilson is making it her goal to elevate Clark, a rookie with the Indiana Fever, as one of the most talked about players in the country. Clark has been a dominant force in college basketball, making waves with a record-breaking career and appearances in 2 national title games. As she starts her WNBA journey, discussions around her race and transition to pro basketball will continue, even though Clark hasn't stoked any tensions between black and white players. However, some events have sparked conversations about double standards in women's professional basketball before her WNBA career even began. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It costs nothing but makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you. Now, back to the video.
I think just soak in the environment, enjoy it, but more than anything, continue to be me. I think that's the biggest thing I'm telling myself going into this game is like, don't be afraid of the moment. Like, you're ready for this, you work for this, and you go get after it.
First, Clark's preseason game was streamed, but Reese's wasn't. When Reese talks trash, it's seen as unsportsmanlike, but when Clark does it, it's considered competitive. Additionally, Clark received a signature shoe from night before Wilson, despite Wilson being a multiple-time WNBA champion and a 2-time league MVP.
You know what we have to do today. We're gonna have to rock the house.
Fans lining up at the door to see what they call a must-watch game. WNBA's world champions against Indiana Fever's top pick, Caitlin Clark.
It's cool to see that this brings out this many people for Vegas to show up and show out.
Because I want to see Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark against each other. And I've been following Caitlin Clark, I've been watching her all over. She really changed basketball for me.
This fan watching a WNBA game for the first time says he's rooting for everything Iowa, but felt the Aces' energy.
I just hope that it's a good game. I hope everybody has fun, and maybe for the Fever to win. But I think I might be an Aces fan though too, so just because of the other two players. So
Las Vegas Aces Vice President of Sales says the demand sent ticket prices through the roof.
There wasn't enough tickets for us to sell.
The highly anticipated game between Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever and A'ja Wilson's Las Vegas Aces drew a crowd of 20,366 fans to T-Mobile Arena, marking the 5th largest attendance in WNBA history. Some believe that veterans in the league, possibly feeling threatened by Clark, resorted to physical play after the Aces' 88-69 win. When asked about Clark's impact on the league's growth, Wilson described the surrounding drama as gossip, emphasizing that people are recognizing the talent of all players. A video of Wilson and Kelsey Plum discussing white privilege also sparked controversy. While watching a game between UConn and Iowa, Wilson mentioned Paige Bueckers and compared her to Plum in a positive light. However, the comment was interpreted by some, including a Caitlin Clark fan account, as dismissive of white players' talents and as a subtle jab at Clark.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, she's good at basketball, obviously. But, she understands her privilege and, pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
This isn't surprising, since she already said Caitlin Clark was only popular because she's white. First of all, why are you immediately looking at someone based on their race or level of privilege? Why not look at someone's skill set or their character? Everyone has different backgrounds or levels of privilege, but in the end, success has to be earned. Kelsey Plum isn't one of the best players because of her privilege. She's one of the best players because of her level of skill.
It's not surprising, considering Wilson previously stated that Caitlin Clark's popularity was due to her race. Instead of focusing on race or privilege, Why not look at skill and character? Success is earned, and Kelsey Plum is one of the best because of her talent, not her privilege. The video, posted after the Aces' Game 1 loss to the Liberty, has now surpassed 20 million views on X, formerly Twitter. In that game, New York's Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, both white, combined for 55 points in the win.
You've written a new book. This must be terribly exciting. You got a new book here. It's called Dear Black Girls, How to Be True to You. Did you ever imagine when you were a young black girl, did you ever imagine you'd be writing a book?
Not at all. And I'm dyslexic, so telling
Aja Wilson has been a strong advocate for black girls in sports, believing their efforts are often overlooked because they're not considered marketable. She feels frustrated when people deny race plays a role. However, her comments face backlash, with critics saying she needs to provide concrete evidence to support her claim that Caitlin Clark's popularity is due to her race while black players are ignored. If Wilson is going to make such a claim, she should be specific and back it up with facts.
Story at 10, there's a new NCAA women's scoring leader in basketball, and her name is Caitlin Clark. Good evening, I'm Sharon DeRick. Redrick is off tonight. Clark needed only 8 points to beat the record and surpassed it just over 2 minutes into Iowa's game tonight against Michigan in front of a packed Carver Hawkeye Arena. Fans came from across the Midwest to witness history. Our Brianna Baylog was also there today, and she talked to some of those fans. She joins us now live with more on what it was like to watch it in person. Brianna.
Applause. That's the sound of history. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark's popularity comes from being the most prolific scorer women's college basketball has ever seen. She elevated the entire sport, bringing women's basketball out of the shadows and into the spotlight.
That's right, Sharon. It was a packed house here at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and all eyes were on Caitlin Clark, who was just 8 points away from making history, and she did it in typical Caitlin Clark fashion with a deep logo 3, which made the crowd go wild.
The ratings for Caitlin Clark's national title game loss to South Carolina set a record, with nearly 19 million viewers. Clark's rise to prominence in college basketball is a result of her undeniable talent, not her race. If Wilson believes race is a factor, she should provide concrete evidence to support such a bold claim.
Last 90 minutes, we're getting some new record-breaking numbers from ESPN, with the women's college basketball tournament ending with just like gangbusters ratings. 19 million people just about tuning in to see South Carolina go undefeated and beat Iowa. That's up 89% from last year, up nearly 300% from a couple years ago. This is a monster, right? It is the most watched basketball game, period, in 5 years. Men's, women's, college, NBA, most.
Caitlin Clark, all right? The Indiana Fever star was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year earlier this week, and she took time to acknowledge that race played a role in her success this year. Here's a passage from the article in Times Magazine. Quote, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing," end quote. You see why I had no problem with her being Times Athlete of the Year? You see why I said that she should have been on Team USA? You see why I had to go off on the likes of Cheryl Swoops and others who were clearly distant and dismissive of her, no matter how much they try to deny it? There was resentment towards her, and here's why I said it was stupid. Because when she came into the WNBA, for 22 plus years, they had been flying commercial. They were begging for chartered flights. She arrives there, and 2 weeks later, they got chartered flights. She automatically and instantaneously improved the conditions. Attendance is still lagging. WNBA is still losing money compared to what you would hope it would earn, but clearly things are on an upward trending trajectory. It's improving, and she has everything to do with it. Attendance for Indiana Fever games? Are you kidding me?
think it's a fun time to be a part of the W. I truly believe that. I think the skill and the talent has always been there, but now it's just the viewership. And so I give a big old clap to the rookie class. I think that's a lot to deal with when you're at that age and you have that many eyes on you. But I think they've done a great job in the league as well. I think the physicality and all that they're going to get used to, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it. And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing. When it comes to viewership, man, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about our league, but I think that's a really fun thing. And if you have really anything negative to say about all the viewership and everything that this rookie class is doing, I just think that you're not capitalizing on it and you might be a little jealous. So for me, I'm all for it. I'm about it. I love all this stuff.
This is what makes this team big. Still inside, and Shepard. Nice. Sophie Cunningham.
Taurasi, baseline jump. This is every Sophie Cunningham reversing well. Phoenix leading it fast 7-0.